Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Women's College Gymnastics on ESPN3. We've got a great matchup for you here from Raleigh, North Carolina with the NC State Wolfpack and the newcomer, the Sharks, from Long Island University. So you're here with Rachel Garland and Julie Chapman. We will be working with you throughout the afternoon here. Julie, tell us about, so Long Island University, brand new program within gymnastics. Pick the Eagle Conference to join. What have we learned this season? It's been new for them, some ups and downs, but tell us a little bit about this team.
So brand new to the Eagle, brand new to college gymnastics. They have a number of sophomores and freshmen on their team, so a very young team to start out. They've had, some ups and downs this season, and I'm sure that they're looking to improve on some of the scores they've had after the last couple weeks.
Yeah, and head coach Randy Lane there, he has a slew of accolades underneath him. He has taught for some of the biggest programs within the country. So just starting out, I mean, you got to start somewhere. You got to keep building, and that's exactly what they're doing. And then we've got the NC State Wolfpack. They have been a dominant force in the Eagle Conference all season, currently ranked first overall just as a team, but barely. And what can we expect this afternoon from them?
So they're coming off of a season high away score from last weekend of a 195.85 at New Hampshire. Like you said, #1 in the conference. They've had a really great season so far. They're looking to end the regular season this week here at home with a high score heading into the Eagle Championships next week.
Yeah, both really strong teams. I think Long Island, they're just really looking to put a meet together. They've had some strong scores along the way. They've got some fantastic gymnasts. Some of the clubs that they've come from have some big names that have produced top-tier gymnasts, so we know it is doable. It's just a matter of getting everything together, and both, I'll also mention, extremely smart teams. NC State had 18 gymnasts on the All-Eagle Scholastic team, which means they maintained a 3.0 throughout the year. LIU had 19, so
amazing.
A lot of gymnasts that keep those grades up, so that's fantastic, again, for both programs overall. Tonight we're gonna, or I guess this afternoon, it's not even evening yet, we're gonna get started with NC State on the vault. They'll be up first. LIU is gonna be on the uneven bars. Since it's just a dual meet, the teams will flip-flop, so it's gonna be one gymnast competing at a time. And we're gonna get started with Victoria Pratty on vault for the Wolfpack.
Nice tuck, Yurchenko full, a nice landing, a good way to start off for the Wolfpack. She scored a 9.7 last week, so I'm sure she's hoping to build on that performance.
Yeah, season high, just above that at a 9.75. She is one of the seniors from Winter Haven, Florida. She's been a staple in this lineup all year. So one of those unfortunate vaults that they will have to replace.
And first up for the Sharks, we'll have Lauren Miller.
Again, we mentioned how young this team is. There's 16 freshmen overall and 4 sophomores, so no actual upperclassmen on this LIU team.
Little struggle there. She recovered great.
That was a really good recovery. A lot of muscle in that.
2 giants into a double out and a nice duck landing. Very nice routine.
Lauren, a freshman out of Dublin, Ohio, ended up with a 9.5 last week. And again, you can tell just the muscle up after that toe up to the high bar. So that's going to get a deduction. But they've got the skills, so there is some capability there.
Next up for the pack is Karina Jordan. Oh, a nice Yurchenko fold in the layout position and a nice landing. Looks like she's extremely happy about that.
Yeah, great stuck landing there.
Absolutely.
Didn't quite have the height, the dynamics that the judges are looking for. It was a little bit flat. I think this may have just been me, or it might have been our angle, but it looked like she had to pike down a little bit. But again, she stuck the landing, and that's what it's all about.
That's the last thing the judges see. So next up on bars for the Sharks is Charlie Cohen. Charlie's from Delray Beach, Florida, a very popular American Twisters gymnastics.
Last week they only competed 5 on this event, so unfortunately had a few falls amongst them. and only ended up with an overall score of a 46.225. This week they are competing 6. So again, when you have 6 competitors, you're able to drop the lowest score, which will definitely be beneficial to this young and new team.
So it looks like Victoria Pratty had a 9.725, and then Karina Jordan's 9.8. Great start for the pack. Judges a little slow today on the bars, so we're waiting for the first bar score to post here.
Pratty very typical, so she's been in that 9-7 range pretty much all season. So again, a very strong start for the team there.
Nice toe handstand to Tkachev. A pack salto to the low bar, the little struggle there. She's fighting. Kip cast handstand to a double tuck dismount, and a nice recovery after a little glitch there in the middle of that routine.
Again, they've got some really good skills. I think it's just a matter of putting everything together at the same time in the same meet. So one thing that they'll be looking to improve upon as they continue to build their program. Up next for the pack, Madison Benson. This is a really cool vault. Went 9.8 last week.
Very nice.
Beautiful. I mean, those legs are glued together outside of that little teeny tiny hop on the landing, but it is a blind landing. It's really hard when you're flipping forward to see the ground before you land. I think actually the only 10-0 vault on this team, so I think everyone else starts from a 9.5, somewhere around that range, or 9.95, I should say, not a 9.5. But that vault is from a 10.0. And she just does it so beautifully.
She does. It was nice distance away from the table, nice height off the table, and a great landing there. That was a nice, very nice vault.
Hoping to tie her career, I say career high, she's only a freshman, but also her season high of a 9.8, which she was able to get last week. I think that was pretty good. I'm going to go that should at least get a 9.8.
Absolutely. So next up on bars, we have Ella Castellanos. She had a bit of a struggle last week on the bars, so I'm sure she's looking to better that score from last week.
There you see Lauren Miller's score coming in for the Sharks at 9.575. So a little bit better than last week, where she ended up at a 9.5. But she had that, I would say, major error in the middle of it. She didn't have to stop, but did have to muscle up through that kip cast handstand there at the end.
Nice kip cast handstand into an overshoot. Nice Tkachev there. A little short on that handstand.
You can see just some of the form overall. Not quite where they want it to be, but young team, it's new, and we were talking before the broadcast, we don't know much about this team, so we don't know how much they've been able to practice. We don't know if they have a dedicated practice facility. Like the Wolfpack has a practice gym on campus where it's only them that are in there. They don't have to worry about other members and possibly any COVID issues.
Correct. Oh, there's Emily Shepard with a very nice full twisting Yurchenko.
Huge, and I want to say that was a stuck. Sometimes with the squishy mats, it's a little hard to tell if she actually stuck it or not. But there you can see there, Emily is tied for first in the Eagle Conference with a 9.875 as her national qualifying score.
She gets very nice height, nice distance from the table, a nice block.
Season high of a 9.9, so just slightly underneath that 9.85 last week. And only a sophomore, so definitely able to add more. I would love to think that she's training a 1.5, but who knows? I think she could do it. It's just a matter of does the mental aspect of it. That extra half turn is a lot.
And that forward landing throws a lot of gymnasts off. It's hard to have air awareness and know where you're landing. But a 9.9, I'm sure she'll take that today.
Oh yeah, most
Absolutely.
definitely.
So next up on bars, we have Katie Kottman. She's their all-around gymnast. She'll be competing in the all-around today, and she did as well last week. Katie's come a long way. She's from Kokokai Gymnastics in Hawaii.
Charlie Cohen that went second on bars with that kind of major air after the Pac Salto 9.175.
Yep, you can see little form deductions here and there. She had to tap her toes on the floor on that.
But a nice combination. I mean, you've got the shapash up to the high bar into the immediate overshoot down to the low bar. Clear hip into a full twisting double back. The combinations are there. The skills themselves are there. It's just the technique, the form, getting everything cleaned up just a little bit.
Yes, the execution isn't as good as you'd like to see, but they're definitely working through it, and they're fighting through the routines.
Chloe Negretti for the Wolfpack.
Wow, another nice Yurchenko full. A little step back on the landing.
Yeah, just
nice
a little bit too much power, which is very typical out of Chloe. Ella Castellanos for the Sharks at 9.7 on bars. Updates on vault. Emily Shepard with that 9.9. Karina Jordan had a 9.8, and Madison Benson a new career best, new season best, a 9.825.
Very nice.
Chloe's actually ranked 4th in the Eagle.
So next up for the Sharks, we have Julia Bedminster. It doesn't look like she competed last week, so we're interested to see how she performs today. Chloe Negretti scoring for the Pack at 9.85.
And again, it's just that the landing was really all there is. That vault's only worth a 9.95, and you saw that big kind of slide of the feet backwards, so the judges have to take a 10th if it's more than just a little scooch, or have to take more than half of a 10th. So a full 10th there, and that's where all the deductions come in.
A little messy in the legs on that overshoot.
Good fight on that handstand.
Nice double layout dismount. A little chest down on the landing, had to take that step. But overall, a nice routine.
So I've seen a few double layouts. We've seen the full in. We've seen some really great combinations. Form, technique, kind of the execution errors are really where all the deductions are coming from. They have the skills. They're up to the level. The competitiveness, I think, will get there. Olivia Hunter on vault for the Wolfpack. Great
Nice.
layout, Yurchenko half.
Difficult landing. That front landing is difficult. It starts from a 9.95, like the Yurchenko full, but nice recovery after that fall she had last week.
Very happy with that one.
Absolutely.
And she was going for the stick on that landing. She tried it. It's really hard to stick those forward landings. So great job by the Wolfpack team. And I believe we will have an exhibition out of Grace Hunter on vault. Allison Lapp getting ready. The top scorer last week ended up with a 9.8. She is actually from France.
Interesting.
I'm not sure that I know how to pronounce the city or town. So we'll just say she's from France. She's a freshman.
It looks like the Pack comes in with a 49.2 on vault. It's almost 2.5 tenths higher than they had last week.
Yeah, really strong score for them. That's a new season high on vault. They have not been, I think maybe right around that 49 mark, but definitely not a 49.2. So great opening pack on. It is senior day as well, so great way for the seniors to start off.
Nice shaposh to the high bar. Pack salto down to the low bar. She has nice form, nice legs, nice toe point. Nice cast handstand right on top of the bar. And
you can see the difference between her form from some of the other gymnasts that we've seen.
Oh no, it looks like she might have dropped that knee down on the mat there on that double layout.
Oh, I hate saying it.
Looks like she just released a little early. Absolutely.
Such a pretty routine right up until that ending on the dismount. So scores already much better than last week on uneven bars. Unfortunately, they'll probably have to count one of these lower scores where somebody fell.
Another nice Yurchenko laid out half.
Great job by Grace. So again, that exhibition spot, it's not going to factor into the team score. The team score's already been figured out. It's a 49.2 out of the 6 gymnasts that competed. The top 5 scores made up that overall team total. But they do have a couple of seniors that they're going to have to replace their routines for next year. And so by Grace getting some practice, it just gives her some extra experience being out in front of the judges.
Just gives them the opportunity to show what they've been practicing all throughout the week, even if they don't get to compete in one of those top 6 lineup spots. It's always nice to know that you have that alternate at the back of the lineup if you need them.
Most definitely. And that concludes rotation number 1. So LIU coming in a 10th and a half above where they were at last, or actually a point and a half, sorry, my bad. They were at a 46.225 and this week ended up at a 48.15 as we wait for the final score to come in. So a great job by the LIU Sharks. NC State, they were going to flip-flop events. Sharks will move on to vault. NC State's going to move over to the uneven bars. We're going to pause. You guys can see the touch warm-up, but we'll take a quick break as they do their touch, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back inside Reynolds Coliseum in Raleigh, North Carolina. You are watching NCAA Women's Gymnastics on ESPN3. We've got a great meet so far with the newcomers, the LIU Sharks, against your home team, the NC State Wolfpack, as we move into rotation number 2. The Sharks are going to get started over on the vault.
That was a nice tucked Yurchenko layout from Alyssa Van Allen. She scored a 9.7 last week. The chest was a little bit down on the landing, but no steps or hops.
Yeah, great start for the Sharks, a freshman out of Litchfield Park, Arizona. Starting off for the Wolfpack is Karina Jordan, freshman versus freshman.
Nice pack salto to the low bar. Nice tight legs, nice form.
Looking good so far. A season high of a 9.85. Last week ended up at a 9.7, so just the dismount left.
Nice double layout.
Nice, absolutely gorgeous. That's gotta at least tie her career high.
I agree.
I'm going 9.85 plus. That was a beautiful routine.
That was a very nice routine.
And you can see there the scores. I mean, for LIU, being at a 48.2, they had a great first event, coming in almost 2 points higher than they did last week, just shy of that. Katie Koopman.
Another nice tucked Yurchenko. She got a lot of distance from the table, good height, and a nice landing.
Not the highest valued vaults. So the layout Yurchenko full's worth a 9.95. When they tuck, it actually devalues the vault just a little bit because you are able to get a little bit more height, distance, dynamics with a tucked shape versus a laid out shape. But still a very strong start. Ended up at a 9.75 last week. I'm going to say one of the veterans on the team. She's only a sophomore.
Must be difficult to not have any seniors leading the team that have been there for the 4 years and you know exactly what to expect. Everybody's coming in new.
And I actually didn't look up the sophomores. I didn't read their bios, if any of them had competed at schools prior to joining LIU. Casey Nelson getting ready for the Wolfpack.
Casey had a 9.65 last week at New Hampshire.
I'm going to go with the score update that they've put in the system for Karina Jordan is not correct. It shows a 4.425.
Yes, I think we'd be inquiring that score if that came up. That's for sure.
Absolutely not correct. That should be more than double that. Huge Tkachev.
Here comes the score for Karina, 9.875.
There we go. That seems a little bit better. So a new career high for her. Casey, one of the seniors that they're going to have to say goodbye to, and she has just been so phenomenal for this Wolfpack team. Really leading the way just as far as an individual, student athlete. Great personality overall.
It's a difficult night for the seniors knowing that this is the last time competing at your home arena. That was a nice laid out Yurchenko. Like we talked about before, not the highest value. It only starts from a 9.7,
I believe.
And that was Julia Bedminster.
Did not compete last week. So last week the team had Riley Goldberg in. We will actually not see Riley today on vault. So we've got a couple of new individuals to the lineup. The Wolfpack bar team ranked first in the Eagle with a national qualifying score of a 49.088. A season high of a 49.125.
Looks like we'll have Lauren Kent up on bars for the pack. Nice Jaeger into an overshoot.
Lauren, just an outstanding gymnast overall for this team. Another one of the seniors. Last year, the 2020 Eagle Gymnast of the Year.
A nice stuck double A.
Absolutely nails it. I mean, what a way to finish your bar career.
Absolutely.
Granted, they'll go on to postseason, but for regular season competition. Just a slew of accolades under Lauren Kent's name. Two-time All-Eagle, first-team bars. And I think you can see why with that routine.
Definitely one Lauren will be happy with.
She was All-Eagle second-team bars on her freshman year.
First 3 bars routines for the pack, very strong. A number of season highs.
Looking really good so far.
Very good.
Trying to best that season best bar score. Looks like a 9.875. You can see there on the right side of your screen for Lauren. Alana Ricketts up next for the Sharks.
Taking some time to visualize her vault. Waiting for the judges to be ready. Next up for the pack, Katie Cox. Nice tight legs on that Tkachev.
Another senior for this Wolfpack team. She has been a staple on this event. Coming in, graduating December, her freshman year, coming in January, and immediately in the bar lineup.
Nice double layout dismount, a small slide on the landing.
And she's capable of a full twisting double layout that is just absolutely gorgeous.
A nice full twisting Yurchenko, chest a little bit down on the landing, a little pike down. A little step on the landing, but overall, a very nice fault.
Amanda Liu very consistently getting better on this event. So they only started competing a month ago. Their first meet of the season was actually February 12th. So they've only had 4 meets under their belt, and she has consistently improved every single week.
Next up for the pack, we'll have Emily Shepard, who scored a 9.9 last week at New Hampshire.
Shepard ranked first in the Eagle on this event with a national qualifying score of a 9.9. So there you can see Katie Cox coming in at 4th ranked in the Eagle Conference, and then Meredith Robinson tied for 5th. But NC State holding several of those top rankings. This is the event they're actually ranked, I believe, 24th nationally.
Nice dismount.
She was really going for that stick too.
She was.
That small little scooch of the feet, but a gorgeous routine out of Shepard.
She's got gorgeous lines on bars. It makes it easy to watch.
That was Lauren Miller finishing up her layout Yurchenko full for the Sharks, a 9.725 last week. You could see she was off center just a little bit, ended up having to pike down, jump to the left, her left, at least. So she's going to get not only some execution, but a directionality air as well. You see the score update there for Katie Cox, a 9.8.
We'll have one more bar routine from the pack. Madison Benson will be anchoring the lineup tonight.
Making a bar debut.
It looks like it.
Which this is a great spot to be put in. So the Wolfpack, they've already had 5 really strong scores. So far their team total for the uneven bars, they're already at a 49.275. If you need someone that you're just kind of testing out, let's see how they do. If she gets a great score, fantastic. They can go up from that 49.275. If she makes a mistake, no harm, no foul.
That's right. And for those viewers out there, most teams will put 6 gymnasts up on each event, only having to count the top 5 scores. So they'll always be looking to drop the lowest score.
So they've already bested their season high. So they were at a 49.125. We're now at a 49.275. So a 10th and a half higher already.
Nice chapache to the high bar. Nice cast handstand into a free hip handstand. Pack salto down to the low bar.
Great combination there. You see her legs glued together just like they were on vault.
Nice bar routine so far. A little short on that cast handstand. Oh, and she just lost it there on the dismount. Let go a little bit too early.
Yeah, just a little early there. Almost looked like she kind of ran out of gas. Ran out of air. But again, a great job for the Wolfpack team. They had that slew of seniors right there in the middle, just everyone competing back to back. So you had Casey Nelson, Lauren Kent, and Katie Cox. That all 3 of those routines are going to have to be replaced next year. So it's a great opportunity for Madison as a freshman to get in there, get some experience competing, and hopefully, again, she'll be able to take one of those places next year. So it's tough when you've got to replace 3 routines.
Yes, that's a lot when you're only putting up 6 on each event. And we've got, being a senior, you're a seasoned veteran at that point. You've been to a lot of competitions and you know what your role is. The anchors know, and those that start the events off.
But yeah, so far we're halfway through now. 2 fantastic scores for the Wolfpack team, setting new season highs on both events, a 49.2 on vault, 49.275 on the uneven bars, and LIU making great improvements here this afternoon, ending up on vault with a 48.325, so a 10th and a half, 1.125 higher than they did last week, and bars, again, we've talked about almost 2 points higher. So we're going to take a quick break. That is halfway through. NC State's going to move over to the beam while the Sharks are going to start off rotation number 3 on the floor. We'll be right back in a few minutes with event number 3 here in Raleigh. Welcome back inside Reynolds, North Carolina, Reynolds Coliseum in Raleigh, North Carolina, I should say. You are watching women's college gymnastics on ESPN3. We're going to get started with rotation number 3 between these two teams, the Wolfpack from NC State and the Sharks from Long Island University. Casey Nelson is going to be up first on the balance beam for the Wolfpack. So far, I think both teams have had a fantastic meet. I mean, LIU is 2 points ahead of where they were last week. NC State set 2 new season highs on both of their first events.
Definitely a great night for the seniors so far. A tough spot in this leadoff position. You want to have a nice, strong routine that leads the rest of your teammates. Like Casey had a 9.725 last week at New Hampshire. A few wobbles here and there, but so far so good.
Yeah, and pretty consistent in the beam lineup. You know, kind of in and out throughout this season, but always around that 9.7, 9.8 range.
Nice side aerial into a full dismount. Nice duck landing.
Nails the land. I mean, I think she's a little bit pleased with that routine, which is great. Again, she's a senior. You want to go out and put your best foot out there. So fantastic job for Casey Nelson. And she's not done. We'll see her again.
First up for the Sharks is Amanda Liu. Looks like she had a small falter last week, so she'll look to improve on that score.
The Sharks pretty consistent as a team in kind of that low to mid 48 range. Definitely looking to best that if they can.
Looks like Amanda's not too far from home. She's originally from Sound Beach, New York. Struggled on that double back a little bit, had to take a couple steps out of bounds, so that'll be a deduction.
And we've talked in prior meets just how bouncy this NC State floor is. So while they might be able to use some of that bounciness, you also have to be able to control it or it's going to slingshot you out of bounds. And those tenths are going to add up when they come off the average of the score. It might help on the last tumbling pass.
Yes, we've always said the NC State floor is more like a trampoline. Oh, a nice double pike. Overall, not a bad floor team. A few minor issues, but it'll definitely be a better score than she had last week.
Yeah, most definitely. The first few meets out, she was in kind of that 9.6 to 9.7 range. So last week, definitely a fluke coming in at the 9.05, but she should spring right back.
Next up on beam for the pack, we have Kaylin Folan. Nice front toss into 2 back handsprings.
Kaylin, truly a beam specialist. This is the only event that she competes.
Nice amplitude on those leaps, nice tight legs. She doesn't even look nervous.
I wish I was like that on beam. Whew. I was the complete opposite.
As was I. Nice full turn there. One of the requirements that every gymnast has to do. Nice front aerial.
Beautiful. Makes it look so easy. I guarantee that skill is not easy.
That blind landing with that front foot has to land on that 4-inch piece of equipment. Oh, had to take a little hop on that landing, but nice beam routine.
Yeah, great routine for Kaylin, so it should be right around where she's typically at in that kind of mid 9.7 range. Lauren Miller's going to be next on floor for LIU.
Lauren's from Dublin, Ohio, out of Buckeye Gymnastics. I will have to say that shark mascot is pretty cool. Nice leotards, nice.
I do. I like
sparkles.
the leotard. I like the back of the leotards. They've for being a new program. I mean, they've really covered everything.
Looks like Amanda Liu came in with a 9.575 on that floor routine. Just almost half a point higher than she had last week, so. Looks like the judges are having a mini conference. Here we go.
Casey Nelson a 9.8 for beam.
Just a tenth higher than last week. Opens up with a nice double pike. A little trouble on that landing there. Had to buckle her knees a little bit.
Yeah, it looked like she opened a little bit early to try to get to the landing and then maybe opened a little too much.
Nice front full end of front layout.
Kaylin Folan's score coming in at 9.85. It's a new season best for her.
Having fun with the floor routine. The music's fun. Nice Nice switch half into a wolf full. Final pass. Nice.
Able to hold on that one.
And that's where the floor comes into play.
So Lauren went 9.725 last week. Back over to beam for the Wolfpack, Emily Shepard.
Nice full turn with that leg horizontal. It's a lot more difficult than it looks.
Definitely.
Nice amplitude on those jumps. Nice tight legs.
Season and career high last week of a 9.9 on this event.
Nice by cantering layout. Step out in the flight series.
She's been the Eagle Gymnast of the Week 3 times this season.
Nice gymnast NC State's lucky to have. She's just an overall well-rounded gymnast. She looks great on every event. She has nice feet, nice jumps, nice power.
Yep, and Gymnast of the Week, for those out there, it is individuals that compete in the all-around. So she's against other all-arounders, and then you will have Specialist of the Week as well, and you'll also have Rookie of the Week. So the Rookie is obviously reserved for the freshmen, Specialist for those event specialists that don't compete all-around, and then Gymnast of the Week for the gymnasts that do compete all-around. But a great routine. I feel like that should at least be at 9.9.
I absolutely think so. Everything was nice and in line. Her line is great on the balance beam, the nice aerial full into a nice stuck dismount.
I'd love to see a 10. I don't know if they'll give it to her. I feel like they probably found something to deduct, but I would love to see another 9.9, even maybe a 9.95. I think Emily would like to see it too.
Absolutely. I think because she's third up in the lineup, it might be difficult for her to get a 10. If she was anchoring the lineup,
yeah,
that's an interesting choice.
Yeah, went 39.5 in the all-around last week, so a new career best for her in that regard. And again, looking very strong to do that again this week. I'll knock on wood now so I don't mess anything up.
Next up on floor is Ella Barrington. That full wolf turn.
You saw
double wolf turn.
Double wolf turn, yes. And Lauren Miller's score you saw come in there, 9.625.
Nice round off into a 2.5. Waiting anxiously for that beam score. Here it comes. Wow.
9.875. Close. I still think it should have been a 9.9. But I'm not judging.
I do think they saw more deduction than I definitely saw in that routine.
So far, a strong routine for Ella. Last week, only a 9.475, so must have had some sort of air, maybe not a fall, but some sort of air.
Steps out of bounds.
Yeah.
Nice 1.5 into a front layout.
Great bonus combination.
That was an interesting routine. I liked it.
Yeah. First time we've seen Ella today, and we'll see her again on beam. She's a freshman out of Oklahoma City. As we move back over to the Wolfpack on beam, Katie Cox. Katie doing 3 events today.
Looks like Katie had a 9.8 last week at New Hampshire.
New Hampshire was a tough meet for them. They lost by less than 3/10. But it was their highest away meet score, like you mentioned, so positives, but at the same time, New Hampshire is always one of those. It's kind of like NC State and UNC. It's just one that they always want to beat, because the scores, no matter what, when you put those two teams next to each other, they're always so close.
Right, and if you look at the standings and the scores in the Eagle, the top 4 and 5 teams are within a tenth of each other with the national qualifying score. So it'll be an interesting competition next week. We were just saying we hope that every team hits 6 for 6, so you can truly see how each compete and how they all fall in the standings.
Great routine out of Katie. That was absolutely fantastic. A nice stuck dismount. NC State's got a couple of individuals coming up that are ranked in the top 10 in the Eagle. So Chloe Negretti, who we'll see, is ranked 5th, and Nicole Webb is tied for 9th.
Looks like now up on floor we have Katie Kottman.
See Ella Barrington's score there, 9.525, so a little bit better than last week. Still some execution errors, just not quite as clean as we want it.
Oh wow, you don't see that very much these days in college gymnastics. That was a round off into a triple full.
Yeah.
A little sloppy with the legs and a little didn't quite get all the way around on that triple twist. That's why she had to kind of stumble out of it. But definitely a difficult
tough.
E
element. Yeah.
Yep.
It's getting all 3 twists around, especially only coming out of a round off. Normally you'll see the round off back handspring so that they can launch themselves into the air a little bit higher. And her feet, like you said, were a little bit crossed in the air, so that's going to be a deduction. Just little things that the judges notice.
Oh wow. Round off 1.5. Round off 2.5 into a punch front. Was a little bit crooked, took off a little sideways on that 2.5 twist. It caused her to take a few steps out of bounds there.
Yeah, not quite the same as she did last week. Ended up at a 9.7. So, this week I think it's going to go down, especially on that triple full. Not getting that all the way around. One of the judges may have only even given it a 2.5. It really depends on what they saw and where they saw her feet land, depending on how close she was. And then that out of bounds on the last tumbling pass is really going to just deduct from that overall total.
Overall, LIU's had some strong floor routines, but like we've said, there's some room for improvement. Go back and watch the routines, clean them up a little bit before Eagle Championships next week. Looks like we have Chloe Negretti up for state on the balance beam. Nice full turn there.
9.875 last week.
Nice front aerial into a back handspring.
Chloe always just like a very calm performer on beam. I want to understand how she does it.
What the mindset is too.
What is the mindset? Because you and I have talked, neither of us were the beam specialist people. That was not our forte. We were the shaky individuals that could do fantastic in practice, but you put us in a meet setting and we just couldn't get anything together. And this Wolfpack beam team, they're just all so calm and collected, very confident.
They look amazing today up on the beam.
Just the dismount, a double full, and that small hop on the landing. I think once Chloe figures out how to nail those landings, her scores are just going to skyrocket. And they're just little scooches of the feet. It's not like she takes these big hops or big steps. They're just little scooches, and but again, you take a half tenth to a full tenth on every event, and that adds up overall.
Absolutely, her form is amazing. just little things here and there that I know she can clean up. That double full dismount, though, is one of the harder ones being done. Most gymnasts just do the 1.5, so a double full is definitely a little bit harder, but also a little bit harder to stick.
More twisting. She can see the landing, which is nice. That's the difference between the full and a half. So we'll, some advantage, some disadvantage. Harder skill, but you can see the landing. But a lot of people now are doing the side aerial into just a single full dismount, so obviously a lot easier to stick, or even the gainer full off the side of the beam. So three very popular dismounts that are really easy to stick.
Looks like next up for the Sharks, we have Reagan Jones. This is the only time we'll see Reagan tonight.
So far, LIU, kind of everyone coming around the mid 9.5, 9.6 range. So not quite where some of the scores were at last year. A little bit more focused on the 9.6, 9.7 range, but still looking at building. And NC State just rocking it on beam with several 9.8 pluses so far. Right now, hoping to get rid of Katie Cox's score of a 9.625.
Wow, a nice punch double full. Another E skill for the Sharks.
So again, we've seen some really hard skills out of this team. I think they've just got to work on, getting a little bit stronger, really just cleaning up overall. So some of the body airs, some of the mistakes just in terms of hitting their feet or stepping out of bounds, those kinds of things, and their score is really going to skyrocket.
And I think you can just attribute some of those errors to just the team being so young.
Most definitely. Most teams come in and they have, I would say, between 2 and 6 freshmen. And again, this LIU team, they've got 16 freshmen. Like, that's just, imagine in 4 years, well, 3 years from now, you have 16 people to graduate. We'll have a senior day presentation at the conclusion of this meet, but again, seniors, I would say, again, most teams average between 2 and 6 would be a very large graduating class. I had 7 in my class, which was unheard of. But yeah, graduating 16 is going to be interesting.
That was a nice floor team. A few, like we keep saying, a few errors here and there, some just mental from the team being a little bit young, but overall, they're improving each meet, and that's all you can ask for. Yeah, most definitely. Reagan ended up at a 9.675 last week, so hoping to stay there or best that. And Nicole Webb making her debut of the day on balance beam, so one of the seniors from right here in Morrisville. Nicole's from Sunshine Gymnastics. Nice full turn. Just gorgeous line. Her toe point, just every week, I just love her toe point is so beautiful. She's just so precise and every bit of attention to detail. NC State already at a 49.025 on the balance beam. Nice amplitude in those leaps. So there you can see right now they are counting Katie's score of that 9.625. Had to lift her leg there a little bit on that front aerial. Looked to be a little bit under rotated, but a nice save. Great save. Last week a 9.875 out of Webb. So with that air probably won't be quite there, but again, they're just looking to best Katie's 9.625, so that can be the drop score. And we'll bump that 49.025 up. Nice round off into a double full dismount. Not giving away any more tens. Legs were a little far apart there, but she did the college try and got it back together. She was able to somehow click her, or like her feet grew instantly and got those heels together, and we're gonna go with it. Absolutely. But it was a stuck landing, which is what we always talk about. Absolutely.
And then NC State does have an exhibition on beam. Madison Benson, who we have already seen on a couple events today. As we, again, you know, we talk about the seniors, so they've got 2 beam routines that they'll have to replace. Actually, no, 3 beam routines. Casey Nelson, Katie Cox, and Nicole Webb. So, again, giving more people some opportunities to just get out there, get in front of the judges.
Looks like Reagan came in with a 9.625, which is a little lower than her score last week. And up now we have Allison Lapp. A nice double pike, a nice landing. She had a 9.725 last week.
Allison's second routine out of 3, so she'll be on beam as well. The choreography on their floor routines has been excellent.
Interesting routines with interesting music. Kind of different than we see in most college gymnastics floor routines.
Some great leaping. Again, another double wolf turn.
She wears that toe sock on her foot to help her turn on the rug on the floor.
You've started seeing those more and more, even in the Olympics, and I don't know. I don't know that I'd be comfortable wearing that, but I guess if you get used to it, I feel like my foot would slip.
I feel that way too, but it seems like if you're going to do those wolf turns, which are worth so much these days, it's almost a requirement now.
Most definitely. So that concludes the 3rd rotation for LIU, and like I said, we've got an exhibition out of Madison Benson for the Wolfpack. And so far, this is going to be a great counting score for NC State's national qualifying score for this year. They did end up besting their season best, the 49.075 on beam. So Nicole Webb, a 9.675. Not quite where she wants to be, but it did give him an extra
half a tenth.
Yeah, half a tenth.
Nice full turn there, no wobbles.
Again, Madison, typically a vaulter. She has done floor a couple of times this season, but bars and beam are new for her, and this just goes to show that they're looking towards the future. Madison is a freshman, and they're going to want her in the lineup.
She's definitely showing promise with this beam routine. Just a few hesitations.
Yeah, so far so good. Just the dismount here, so one of the gainer fulls off the side with a scooch of the feet, but overall a great routine.
I feel like she does a lot of difficult elements in that routine.
Yeah, most definitely. Oh, we do have an exhibition. This was not on our sheet.
Round off 1.5 punch front layout.
Just a little uncontrolled on the landing. One of the things that the judges look for is control on the landing. So that is something that'll be factored in. So you see there 9.725 for Allison. So same, tied the score from last week. Yep. Able to drop the 9.325 out of Koopman. So again, you see their scores kind of ranging right in that mid 9.5 to 9.7 range, something that they'll definitely continue to work on as they build their program.
Absolutely.
But overall, a 48.075.
double back to end the routine, came in a little bit short there.
And those double backs at the end, those are tough skills. There's a reason you get an extra 1/10 of bonus for doing a double salto at the end, because the judges know that it's difficult. You're gassed. It doesn't matter how many times you practice these floor routines. You can do as many of them as you like, but you get on that competition floor and you try to squeeze a little bit tighter, you try to split a little bit more, and you just end up a little too winded at the end.
That was a nice rotation for both teams.
All right, so that concludes rotation number 3. We'll take a short break. We'll give the gymnasts a chance to head into their final touch for the 4th event, and we'll be right back here in Raleigh. Welcome back inside Reynolds Coliseum in Raleigh, North Carolina. We are getting set for the fourth and final rotation of women's gymnastics on ESPN3. We've got the host team, the NC State Wolfpack, going into floor, and the Sharks from Long Island University heading into balance beam. So Julie, before these teams get started, since we've got a minute or so, tell us a little bit about next week is the Eagle Conference. So these teams are going to see each other again. But what can we expect just overall out of 8 teams total?
So we have 8 teams in the Eagle. The top 4 rankings will compete later in the evening. The bottom 4 will compete earlier in the afternoon. For the Eagle Championship to see who gets to take home the trophy.
Yeah.
It's a big eagle. It's very pretty.
Yes.
Since normally the NC State and UNC would be in the ACC, but there's not enough teams in the ACC to make up an ACC conference, so they created the Eagle, which is the East Atlantic Gymnastics League.
Yep, and newcomers this year, so we've got Temple that we've seen a couple of times, and Long Island University, so it has gone from 6 in prior years to 8 this year, so they are able to have 2 sessions, and that way they can keep the gymnasts as far apart as possible with COVID standards.
So first up for the Sharks, we have Alyssa Van Allen.
Beam last week was actually their best scoring event of 48.325. If they can do that, if they can best that here today, they would actually earn a new season high, season best, just over a 193, which they have not been able to achieve yet this season.
Well, nice leadoff routine for the Sharks. Nice round off 1.5. Little slide of the foot on the
Just
landing, but overall a nice routine to start them off.
And floor for the Wolfpack, they are capable of putting up some really big scores. They've had a season best of a 49.4, and if you take a look, that 147.55, if they can end up at a 49.45, if they can best their season best, they can post a 197.
Karina Jordan starting off for the pack. A nice front double twist.
A 9.8 last week, 9.825 as a season high, so we can start off there. Maybe even a 9.9, possibly.
Nice amplitude on those leaps. Looks like last week in New Hampshire, Karina had a 9.8.
Well, that's pretty strong for the leadoff spot. So, again, if she can best that.
Nice Rudy to finish off the routine, a nice landing.
I mean, I think the only major error was out of that first tumbling pass. So we'll see what the judges say. Again, their angle is completely different than ours from the camera view.
Nice routine.
Great floor routine out of Karina. She is pleased with that one. I'm going to go 9.8 plus on that. I think it has to be. We'll see if we can't get them close to that 197 range. That'd be a huge score in the national qualifying score this year. So it is made up a little bit different this year. So for the 2021 season only, the national qualifying score formula was altered to just include 4 regular season meets. 2 of them have to be away, and then the other 2 can be home or away. But
do not have to drop the high score.
They're not dropping one. Yep, they're not dropping the high score. So if they can get a 197, that's going to be huge. But all 4 scores are going to be averaged this year to make that national qualifying score. In typical years, It's based off of 6 regular season meets. 3 have to be away. The other 3 can be home or away. You drop the high and then you average the remaining 5. So a completely different way of coming up with the NQS this season, really just because some teams, you know, like LIU started only a month ago, so they just have 4 meets under their belt, whereas some teams were able to start the beginning of January and have had a double that amount of time. So to be fair, they've changed things for this year.
Katie Cox up for the pack on floor.
Karina's floor score coming in at 9.875, so close to that 9.9.
Nice Rudy to start off her routine. Nice jumps there. Katie, another one of the seniors for the pack, looking to finish out her career at Reynolds Coliseum or Valvano Coliseum.
2 9.75s for LIU, so Katie Koopman and Alyssa Van Allen both coming in strong. I can tell you my senior night, even though our Eagle Championship was at Raleigh my senior year, we were hosting it. There's still something different about concluding your regular season. And I remember I landed my last tumbling pass and the tears just flowed.
I mean, I think you have to keep in mind these gymnasts have been doing gymnastics probably since they were 3 and 4 years old, and
yeah, last year got cut short, so they're definitely going to leave it all out on the line. Absolutely gorgeous.
Nice routine for Katie. Oh. Next up on the beam is Ella Barrington.
Excuse me, a 9.7 last week.
Nice flight series by handspring layout step out.
So I really think beam is probably their strongest event. So last week they had 2 9.7s, a 9.75, a 9.825, but they only competed 5 individuals, and so the last score of a 9.35, it's not like you get to drop that one. So it did end up having to count, but they've got a full lineup this week, and if they can keep up with those 9.7s and 9.8s, they're going to put up a really strong score. And again, right now, LIU's season best is a 191.925, so they haven't quite been able to get over that 192 threshold, and with a strong beam team, which they are very much capable of, I'd really love to see them get a 193 plus.
A nice stuck dismount at the end.
Yeah, she fought for that landing.
A few little wobbles throughout the routine, but she did fight for that dismount.
Yeah. Great routine there for Ella.
A 9.8 coming up for Katie Cox. So we have a 9.875 and a 9.8.
So it looks like I had Nicole Webb up to compete next, but they have substituted Madison Benson. So Benson actually competing all around today, even though since she only exhibitioned on beam, she will not be counted in the all-around final. But from a mental perspective, that's still an all-around competition, which takes its toll on your body.
The judges are having a mini conference with the last score.
Benson did not compete last week on this event, but the 2 weeks prior she went 9.825 and 9.8. So very capable of strong scores. Katie Cox ended up with a 9.8 for her floor routine, and you could see afterwards she was
emotional.
Little emotional there, which is completely understandable.
Gearing up for her first pass here. Mount up a handspring double pike. Nice landing there. Nice control. That's what the judges are looking for on that landing. Nice leaps there. Ella Barrington's score coming in at 9.5. So far, a good rotation for the Sharks on beam. A few minor wobbles here and there, but they're fighting to stay on the beam.
Like you said, just some of those little execution errors. So a couple tenths below last week, but that's okay.
She managed to keep that foot in bounds. For our last pass here. Double tuck. Nice landing. Nice floor routine.
So much power.
And a token wolf signal at the end.
So much power as Benson wraps up. We'll jump right back over to the balance beam, Taylor Doden.
This is the only time we'll see Taylor tonight. It looks like she's a beam specialist. She had a 9.825 last week for the Sharks, which was by far their highest score on beam last week. See if she can best that today. Nice
Great
split ring leap.
Throwing your head back on beam is just crazy. Why would you take your eyes off the beam?
Nice back handspring layout step out. Little slight wobble, but she pulled it back. Another slight wobble on that aerial there.
You can just see like some of their confidence just isn't quite to where the Wolfpack was when they did beam. Great leap combination.
Nice aerial into a full. Looks like she stuck the landing. Her chest was a little far down. She didn't turn it over very much, but
stuck the landing. So she'll still get a little bit. It's one of those things. Do you get your chest up and take a step? You're going to get a 10th deduction. Or do you stick the landing with your chest down? You're going to get a 10th deduction. So just, you know, it's like pick and choose your battles.
Absolutely. Looks like Madison Benson came in with a 9.85.
All right, Casey Nelson for her final event, final routine in the regular season. And she normally has so much fun with this routine.
Nice 1.5 punch front. Looks like she was a little bit over rotated on that 2.5,
yeah.
but pulled it out.
She pulled it out.
Nice double pike, nice landing. And here comes the fun part of the routine.
We always talk about how your personality can really come out. I mean, Casey's personality is about as big as it gets.
You definitely tell she's having some fun out there. Her teammates along the edge sharing in the fun, doing all the same movements she's doing.
Casey, like many of the other seniors, a slew of accolades under her name. 2020 All-Eagle second team, 4-time All-Eagle Scholastic team member, Dean's List. I couldn't tell if she slipped out of bounds there. We'll see what the judges say, but that was a fantastic routine for Casey.
You didn't get to see the judge. Normally, if the athlete's foot goes out of bounds, you'll see the judge in the corner raise their arm, letting the other judge know that they've stepped out of bounds. Couldn't see whether the judge's hand went up or not.
Yep.
It was very close.
It was close. Let's hope for Casey's sake that she stayed in bounds. We'll move back over to the beam. Alana Ricketts. Again, Alana did not compete last week on this event. Nice back cancer layout step up. Looks like she's just second guessing herself a little bit on the landings. She's not as confident in her skills. Nice switch leap combination. Pretty even on beam though, if you look back over this season, 9.95 to 9.675, 9.7 range.
Split jump half. Getting ready for her dismount. Back handspring. 1.5.
She had that too. Oh no, again, our angle's a lot different, so it may have been a little bit more off than we were thinking, but to me it looked like she could have taken a step and really saved that versus the 5/10 deduction on the fall. But they do have another competitor, so hopefully that will be the score that they're able to drop this week. As we move back to the floor, Emily Shepard.
Emily had a 9.85 last week.
Emily ranked 4th in the Eagle on this event. And then we'll see Chloe Negretti, who's actually the leader on this event in the Eagle Conference.
Nice double pike. She did have to step out of bounds there.
A little too much energy, too much adrenaline going. And it happens when your team overall is just having a fantastic meet. You really get amped up on floor, and it can be hard to control the landing sometimes.
Yes, that adrenaline pumps in and it's hard to control. Nice front layout into a front full. Stuck that landing.
Not going out there. And again, so far the Wolfpack having a fantastic floor rotation. Every score over a 9.8. So we've got Emily finishing up.
Nice double tuck. She stuck that landing nice.
And she's typically, again, like a 9.9 performer on floor. So even with that 10th out of bounds, she can still go 9.8. So not her best performance. Very, very strong routine, but it all comes down to that 10th out of bounds being taken off of the average. But we still have Chloe Negretti to finish up on floor as we take a look at Allison Lapp for the Sharks.
Looks like Elena only scored a 9.275 with that fall on the dismount.
But they've still got a strong beam score going. I'm going to knock on wood now, assuming that Allison doesn't fall. They'll be able to drop. You see there that 9.275
Nice
from Alana. And, you know, 3 9.75s and the 1.95, it's still going to be a strong beam score. You see the unofficial total of a 192.6 down in the bottom. So assuming just the dismount here, that score's definitely going to go up just a hop. So a new season best for this Long Island Shark team, new to gymnastics, new to the Eagle. I'd love to see that score be at least 410 so they can hit a 193. Over a point higher than what they've been able to achieve so far.
Absolutely. They have a lot of young talent on that team.
And Chloe Negretti, we can see a big score out of her. I don't know if it's going to be enough to push them to that 197 mark, but they're going to get pretty dang close today.
Chloe always looks like she's all business when she goes out on the floor.
Most definitely. A 9.75 out of Emily. So again, that would have been a 9.85 had she not gone out of bounds.
Nice double pike there to open up her routine. Switch ring.
Chloe bound to pull that score back. Very capable with a season best of a 9.925.
Nice front handspring, front full into her front layout. Nice control on the landing, stayed in bounds there.
She's always so polished, so poised. This is just a walk in the park for her. It's what she does every day. She competes the same way she practices.
Finishing up her floor routine with a double tuck. Another nice landing. It'll be a nice score for the pack.
It will be. I'm going to go 9.9 plus on that one. So NC State's going to finish just under that 197 mark. And you see there a new career best for Long Island University of a 193.1.
That's an amazing score for them. It was quite a bit higher than last week. They had a lot of great performances. A few things that they'll be able to work on, but overall should be very happy with that score.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. A great meet for the Sharks, and you can see them getting probably some words of encouragement, maybe some areas of focus from their coach. We do have one exhibition on floor from Victoria Pratty, but the team is celebrating. I want to know what the score is.
A 10?
I'm waiting for my score sheet to update here. A 9.95, nice. a new career best.
And that does mean that both judges gave her 9.95, or one gave her a 10 and one gave her 9.9.
I mean, man, a 196.9. That is huge for this Wolfpack team.
I'm sure they would have loved to break a 197 today, but so close.
Yes. So a great end by Negretti, and we'll take a look at Victoria Pratty as she exhibitions here.
Nice 2.5 twist there, a little under rotated, but she got it pulled around and had a nice landing.
Pratty is one of their seniors, so again, it is nice to be able to let her come out here and show off all the hard work. She trains every day, just isn't always in the lineup on this event, but obviously capable of being put in there.
She came out to have some fun today. Getting ready for her second tumbling pass here. Off 1.5 punch layup. Nice landing.
Awesome way to finish for Victoria. She hasn't competed floors since, I believe, her sophomore year. I don't think she competed at all last year. So definitely a great way to end the competition. So that will conclude it for us. Julie, quickly, words of wisdom. Personally, just a fantastic meet. This was really fun to watch.
It was, and it's funny that this is what we were talking about, what the pack needed going in this week with Eagle Championships coming up next week. They still have some tweaks that they can make before next week. But they're looking good going into Eagle Championships. They're ranked #1 in the Eagles, so we'll have to see how they come out and perform next week.
Yeah.
But overall, just a great meet. They had some great stuck dismounts, great landings. But like I said, a few things they can still work on for next week. And
7/10 above their season high so far. Went from a 196.2 to a 196.9. That is huge in gymnastics. And Long Island University jumping up from a season high of a 191.925 to a 193.1. We are going to conclude the broadcast here, but definitely stay tuned. They have some great senior recognition for the Wolfpack team. We want to make sure that we honor everyone that has put in so much time and effort, followed by the official scores and the awards ceremony. So definitely stay tuned. We're going to jump off, but you're watching NCAA Women's Gymnastics on ESPN3.